Hey guys, April Beach here. Welcome to another week of putting life first, putting family first. This is a behind the scenes look for you into our lives, running multiple companies with 3 kids, so that you can see really honestly what it looks like. It's not pretty, it's almost always a little messy, but it's always worth it. So this week I'm really focused on a lot of self-care and doing the best that I can to love myself and to take care of myself through the process of all of this. Monday, and I'm in my office space here, and there are a few strategic things I need to think about in how I'm going to manage this week. First of all, I was planning on being at Boulder Startup Week events the whole entire week. I did that last year. It's such a fun thing to do, just being in that environment of startup and meeting new people and networking and learning, just really cool thing. But the reality is this: I realized really early this morning when I was having my me time at the gym and just processing what I was going to accomplish this week, that none of the events that I had planned on going to today aligned with anything that is going to move the marker for my business now. And that's really important to me, that I'm always doing things in alignment with what I set out to accomplish. So this week is still going to look like taking you with us to Boulder Startup Week events. That's going to be super fun. I have podcast interviews. I have Amy Porterfield coming up on the podcast, and I'm so glad to talk to her again, and numerous other really cool guests. So we'll have one day that is just all batch podcast recording and promoting of the current content and sharing of the current podcast that we have going on. Your signature offer has clear and simple steps. And then meetings, strategy sessions with people on my team, new people on my team. So that is what this week looks like. It's going to be really, really busy. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in and get started.
So I'm wearing my Croc Model 3s. Jacob is sick. Dogs are mad.
They want dinner.
Mom is here cleaning. And we're gonna get some B-roll.
So it is Tuesday morning, and yesterday my day did not turn out like I wanted it to. I ended up having all these things, you know how that is, that we want to accomplish, and all these other things I'd cut out in order to accomplish them. And then I just started feeling really sick. So that sucks, and that just happens. That's part of it. So I actually do what I never do, and I took my son to the gym, and I came back home, and I just totally put on my jammies, and I was on the couch watching TV by like 5:30. And my husband was awesome. He came home and cooked everybody dinner, which isn't something that's new. I don't know how to cook at all, so he actually always cooks. So he took really good care of me. So I'm feeling much better today, which is good, because today is podcast interview day. I have to be on my game. I have to know everything I can know about my guests so that they're honored, so that they're lifted up, so that their brand is represented well through the Sweet Life podcast. That's my job. So that actually takes a lot of concentration, a lot of just being really intentional in how I'm working with them and talking to them and interviewing them and supporting them through the process. That's what today looks like. You're gonna get a peek behind the scenes of some podcast interviews, what it looks like to get set up. You know, we're doing video behind the scenes now for the podcast, so I have to make sure my office isn't a total mess, but it's life. This is what we're doing.
You're listening to the Sweet Life
But I want to be honest with my audience about the fact that this is something I struggle with on a daily basis. And I feel shameful about it. So I want to talk about it to take that shame away, because you are my online family and you come to me. So I just wanted to share it. And so I shared it. And then that morning I called up my assistant and said, I might have gotten a little crazy. Maybe this is a bad idea the morning it was going live. She's like, it's already set up. We're going live with it. So it went live. And so what I was going to share with that is every time I show up at a live event, no joke, people come up to me, men and women, and they don't say, I love that episode about course creation or about list building, or I love that you taught me this or that. They say,
just a little plug here. If you are not subscribed to the Sweet Life Entrepreneur podcast, wherever you listen, do it. Okay, so just jumping on another podcast interview with my friend Anna. You guys can see my messy house behind me. Look at all, I'll give you a view of the kitchen. This is real life. This is what my kitchen looks like right now. Yes, it's a disaster. You know, when we're hustling and we're working hard, you know, everybody pitches in. The boys pitch in, Aaron and I pitch in, the dogs pitch in and make their own doggy messes and make it even harder. That's what it's like behind the scenes here. The house is definitely not always clean, but I am really into experiences over things and doing things that really matter. And if I have dishes in my sink, I don't care. Like, that doesn't matter. Does it drive me crazy? Yeah, it does. Do I wish that it was always hey, no growling, in an orderly fashion? Yeah, that would be great. I used to have a housekeeper that came all the time when the kids were little, and now that the kids are bigger, I expect them to do work and to help keep it clean. They have a lot of responsibilities around here, and one of them will be taking care of the kitchen when they get home from school. That's what it's like. So I'm not going to hire somebody to come clean up their basically. They need to learn to do that for themselves. Okay, Happy. Do you want to see Happy? There's Happy. She wants to go outside. Happy. We're okay, girl. Well, thank you for wanting to be on the podcast. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, you guys, so just finished up a day with 3 podcast episodes, 3 podcast interviews, and I get totally brain fried. They were all so good. I am so thankful for the people that I got to meet with today. And it's so funny. You should see me. Like, even though I'm the interviewer, you know, I bring people on the podcast that teach workshops. I have like pages and pages of notes that I have taken today while interviewing these guests of just getting these trainings myself. I love to learn and I love to grow through our guests that we have, but I am totally brain fried. So at this point in time, what I do after the interviews, our system is that I make sure that everybody gets a thank you note like right away for their time, because I not only want the content to be great for our listeners, but I really want it to be an awesome show for guests to be on that can help our guests build their businesses as well. So that is behind the scenes of the actual process of what I need to do now. And now the real truth is I'm totally brain fried. And I don't know if I can actually go back and do an intro and outro for every single guest that we had today. I don't know that I'm capable of, just bringing it right now. I have a little bit of a headache and I haven't eaten anything since this morning. So what I'm actually gonna do is go eat and return my husband's phone call, who has called me multiple times this afternoon. So I'm sure he has something that he wants to chat about, and my kids' texts. So I've gotten text messages from kids too throughout the day. Yes, my kids text me from school. I think that's awesome. And so I have to go, kind of check in, and I feel like I kind of need to check out. I need to have like a major brain break or I'm not going to be able to produce, and I need to feed myself. So anyway, that's what it looks like on a behind the scenes recording day for me. If I had done a good job already, my whole content calendar would have already been solidified for this summer. And summer starts here in about 2 weeks, and it's not yet. So I need to be better at pre-planning, but this is a reality of, stuff just got in the way. Okay, here we are, the next phase of the day. I am at school pickup, and will bring my littlest boy home and feed him and make sure that they are doing their chores. And I felt pretty good. I ate some lunch and I'm getting back in the swing again. And so the kids will be off doing their thing, and I get to go back to work for a couple more hours and finish wrapping up our podcast recordings for this week. Tomorrow, I get to move into my next block calendar day, so my next area of business development that I'm working on. So I don't ever have anything lingering. And sometimes these days, it's like I am not done doing what I'm supposed to be doing for a really long time, and I'm really tired. But this is what the grinding to get it done looks like. And it's always important for me to prioritize exactly what that is. It goes back to The One Thing. I love that book. The One Thing says that pick the one thing that you can do whereby doing it either makes everything else easier or obsolete. And so my one thing in this instance is making sure all my podcasts are done, everything's in order so that I don't have to worry about them. They're scheduled, they're planned, the content is planned out, the editorials calendar is in place, and I can go about traveling this summer like I plan to do with my kids once this is all done. This is behind the scenes what it looks like to make sure that happens. Hey you guys, today is a new day, and I, by the way, did not get everything done that I was supposed to get done last night. So I'm paying for it now though. So today I have a lot of catch-up work to do, and it was so funny, I have to tell you this. So when I was dropping off my youngest son at school, he was late, and he goes to a movement school, which means that the whole entire school works out together in the morning and a couple times during the day to keep the kids focused and on track. It's so awesome. It's a concept that I use. Like, I try to go work out and move in the morning because it makes me be able to focus and think clearer when I'm doing my work. And his school does that. It's so rad. And so I drop him off, and remember, we're late, right? And out of the upstairs window where his classroom is, his teacher, who is the coolest guy, this long-haired hippie guy, yells out, "What up?" And he's like so stoked, and you can hear this music pumping out of the 5th grade classroom window. It's like discoteca, full-blown pounding music, and the whole classroom's in there working out together. It's my last kid in elementary school, you guys. A good thing I had kids young, because I still feel really young. But the fact that I'm not going to have any more kids in elementary school in a week and a half, it's like, well, it's kind of sad. It kind of makes me sad at first, but then the other half of me is like, oh, hell no. I am so excited. My kids are so cool, and I love the people they're becoming. And the older they get, the more I get to do. So that's super awesome. Anyway, today looks like playing catch up on all that I didn't do last night. A lot of emails back and forth to my team and to clients, just my coaching clients today, and I have some things that I owe them. Preparation of slides and downloads that I will be delivering on a training tomorrow. It's a beta training. Otherwise, those would have been done a long time ago. In this case, I'm actually developing them as I'm developing this course that I'm teaching. So I have to do that. And then today, you guys get to come with me to Boulder Startup Week. Today, I also get to bring my oldest son and my second son to Boulder Startup Week. I'm pulling my second son out of school. I'm a believer that school is not preparing my kids for what they need to know regarding entrepreneurship. And so I pull my kids often for events where they can learn the impact that they potentially could have on their own life and on others. And then my oldest son goes to a Democratic high school. And so that means that he gets to craft very much of his own learning plan. And this is another cool school that every single Wednesday, all the students in the school get to do an internship. So they're required to do an internship, but it's recommended they do an internship on something that they might be interested in doing or when they grow up, right? So For example, he used to want to be an elementary school teacher. And then his first year of high school, he did an internship teaching elementary school and very quickly learned that that was totally not what he wanted to do. And so he is coming with me today. And one of the sessions that I'm bringing them to is called What You Don't Learn About Entrepreneurship in School. Like, how could that be more perfect? And I'm going to take you guys with me. Totally another day of unconventional entrepreneurship, burning the picket fence, doing things the way that we want to do them. And so today, I would just love to inspire you to think of what are different events in your area, what are different happenings that you can go to challenge yourself and really get outside of the box. You expand your mind, continue to burn that picket fence, which basically means that you are building an unconventional life that you're in control of, and it is outside of the box. It's your perfect world. So that's what we're doing today. I better get going. Hey guys, coming to you from Startup Week here in Boulder. I'll kind of do a pivot, even though you can't see. There you go, that's better. See, my kids are in that room right there, listening to a panel on what you don't learn about entrepreneurship in school. So that's cool. This is at a co-working space in Boulder called Galvanize. It's a really awesome place to build great things, and a lot of cool people work in here. This room is totally packed. It's actually standing room only, so I'm glad that my kids got in there. And it's really cool. I took some video clips on the inside I'll share with you. But it's just all these people who have a startup and talked about whether or not actually college prepared them for a startup. Some of them are like, yeah, okay, I went and got my PhD and I did my research projects. And then the rest of them on there are like, yeah, no, that college was just preparing me for marketing, for corporate marketing, or leadership development for corporations. And so it's super interesting to hear, especially in solopreneurship, confirming what we already know. What I already feel like I know is that college is not necessarily a place that's preparing our children for a world of solopreneur control. So I'm really interested in that. I'm going to jump back in there right now and connect and hear what's going on. I just got a phone call from my podcast producer, so just needed to jump on a call with her, but now I am going to jump back in there with my kids.
There's an organization called Entrepreneurs Organization, sorry, I can never speak correctly, that creates sort of these peer-to-peer forum groups. That's something that
Hey guys, back in my office. It is about 6:45 at night. Had a great, very, very full day today, and now I'm switching gears. Because I own two companies on top of what I, would normally have to manage in one business, I have to double that. And I usually like to divide that between two separate days and make them like really, really pretty and nice and clean. And I strive to do that. And when I do, it's super awesome. But there are times like right now where I have to go in and update some content, some sales content for a new program, a new corporate program that we're releasing within my other company. And my team has actually been waiting on me to do this. It's kind of only one of those things that I can do. So I am in the process of doing that tonight. And it will be another late night here in the April Beach office space, my office beach cave. And so that's what I'm working on. So I just wanted to share with you and give you an update of what the day looked like. So hopefully I'll be able to wrap it up. My husband will come home. He'll cook dinner for everybody because he's that rock star. I will be able to finish this work and start tomorrow off fresh. So let's see how I do. Sometimes, even after my kids go to school, I still keep on little Einsteins. It's just a thing. I love them. Okay, new day, and all of a sudden, everything just kind of sunk into me. I feel like the hit the fan. I have kids with missing school assignments that need to be turned in. I am getting emails about overdue library books. somehow, some way, I'm even getting emails about my sister's kids overdue library books, which I have my own issues, right? And so I don't know how I'm getting her kids' emails. And about to jump on this live training for the beta launch of this really cool new program I'm developing called Your Signature Offer. I love working with these women. There's about 20 women in there, and I get to dive in and just really roll up my sleeves with them. So that's great. But all of a sudden, all these other things that I knew were coming, they're on my calendar, but I didn't realize, I didn't even like let myself really think about them, like teachers' gifts and into school picnics and field day and all these things that we get to do, you know, when we have kids too. So this is what it looks like, balancing that. And I actually hope that you do a lot better job than I do realizing what's coming down the road. I'm the ultimate teacher's nightmare of a parent. I suck at these like projects and helping my kids do things on time. I try to like teach them how to organize themselves and work through their executive functioning on their own and make their own plan. And then once I do that, it's like totally gone. It's out of my mind. I don't manage it. I don't ask about it. I don't do anything like that. So there's no follow through on my part whatsoever, which I definitely could do a better job in the parenting area as far as that goes. So now there's just kind of all these things that have been falling through the cracks that I totally expect my 16, 13, and 11-year-old to be on top of. And because they're kids and they need support, they aren't 100%. So many things that are going on. Let's see actually how I do.
Didn't do so well managing things on the kids front yet. Haven't even gotten to it, but I did pick them up from school successfully and did not forget to pick them up. I am totally that person. I get so much into my work that sometimes I actually have to set an alarm to remind myself that it's time to go pick up the kids. Yep, that's me. So everybody made it home. They're back here today. I'm just going to have a conversation with them later on tonight about all of the things that we need to do to wrap up their school year. I ended up spending, because a sale came across, like an airline sale came across, I ended up spending about 3 hours finalizing travel arrangements and booking airline tickets for 2 of our 5 different trips this summer. That always takes a ton of time when we're dealing with the schedules for my kids' tournaments because they play sports and that's what we travel around right now. So I ended up spending a chunk of time definitely managing family things, but not the kids' school things today. But I had a great time coaching through my beta launch, and I was able to take one hot seat client, which I love to do, and walk her through the whole process. Did that, and now I am diving into hosting a Facebook Live question and answer session with my podcast guest this week and letting her get in Facebook Live. I did not make it to the deep dive session that I was going to at Boulder Startup Week, but that's okay. I feel good about the fact that my travel arrangements are solidified because I was kind of starting to cut it close. It was kind of starting to stress me out and keep me up at night. So that's where we are. That's what this day has looked like so far. Obviously, priorities are being taken care of. Priority number 1 is making sure my clients are taken care of. Priority number 2 to me was certainly making sure that our family's travel arrangements were taken care of, especially with the sales that came across. I couldn't resist them today, so it was just kind of time to jump on that. So here we are. We made it through another week. I'm just trying to cook myself some breakfast here. The kids are at school, and of course I got their breakfast, but I didn't get my breakfast in time. And my husband he left about 3 o'clock this morning to Nashville to go for a 2-day really cool like promo partner affiliate thing that he's doing with his company. So he won't be back until really late on Saturday night. So I'm just trying to feed myself and wrap up the week and go back over my planner pad and everything that I was fully intending to do this week. And I did a pretty good job not overscheduling myself, I think, not setting some unrealistic benchmarks for myself, although I totally love setting unrealistic benchmarks for myself, because when I like really kill it and reach those, I just get so stoked. I get so fired up. But this week I had planned to be on so many of those Boulder Startup Week events that I didn't intentionally schedule so much. And then it really helped me to get things done because I didn't even end up going to as many Startup Week events as I had originally planned because I felt like I needed more focus time, being that, again, this is the last week of the school year that the kids are all in school. So I'm going through my list here, need to feed myself, and make sure I'm good to go. I do have a business lunch coffee, and then I have a date with my 13-year-old tonight to go to a movie, so I'm very excited about that. So I want to make sure I wrap up my week real clean. So what I'm going to do is go through every single category that I had here of everything I was going to accomplish in each category, and then I circle the things that I miss. And then if I miss them or if I didn't do them, I actually ask myself a couple of questions. First of all, I say, is it something I should have delegated and I didn't delegate well? I struggle with delegating because I like to control things. And so I'm working on learning to be a better leader and a better team leader, and it's just not something that comes naturally to me, to be honest. So I'll go back and I'll look at the things that I struggled with, and I'll ask myself, should I have kept those on my plate at all? Or I ask myself, did I do a really good job following like the one thing rule, which means that if I choose the most important thing to do, and by doing it, it makes everything else irrelevant and that doesn't need to be done or obsolete. So are those things that are left behind, do they actually need to be done? Are they important? In a lot of cases, I'll get to the end of the week and those lingering things that I felt were important are totally not important. But I decided to do this show because of the fact that it's never going to be perfect. As badly as I sit down and I write my lists and I meet with my husband and I have my masterminds and I'm building my team and I'm doing all these things, when you are building a business and your family comes first, this is what it looks like. We've been doing it for a long time now. I think we're pretty good at it. But oh my gosh, we have some massive room for improvement. And if you're watching this and your kids are still babies at home, I get it. It's totally cool because half of the things I'm talking about, you're probably thinking to yourself, your kid is driving, my kid isn't even potty trained, right? I get it. But I'm going to tell you I did that too. Like I launched my first business when I had 3 babies under 3 years old. My youngest was 6 weeks old when I launched the website. So I totally get it. It's just a different arrangement of challenges. But the dynamics of what they need you for totally change. So whereas I used to maybe be able to be on a conference call and change a diaper and kind of be there partially mentally when I was caring for my babies and working, now it's like, oh my gosh, my mind has to be 100% on this son of mine who asked this question, and I need to be on it. I need to be really, really here, having a full-on conversation with him about it and making sure he gets emotionally and mentally what he needs. It's not so much physically what he needs anymore. So I hope that you have a super killer week, that you are punching whatever it is that you want to take care of, that you're being present for yourself, that you're being present for your kids, that you're taking care of your health. And I think that when you holistically look at your life and you choose to defy it on your terms, that is what living is. Even if you have a dish, a sink full of dishes, even if it's not perfect, you're in control. And I think that there is absolutely nothing better than that. So I'm so excited to connect with you and just let you see a little bit behind the scenes here on what it looks like to burn the picket fence with the beaches.
Yeah!